Good morning. This is Nick from I'mWinningAtLife.com. I hope you've had a great week, and I hope things are going really well for you. Today, I want to talk to you a little bit about personal responsibility. So it's come up quite a bit in my life, not only with myself, but with other people that I've dealt with on a regular basis lately. A lot of people that are kind of having trouble, including myself here and there, with things in their life, right? And I think we all have problems in our life. We all have things that come up, from time to time that we want them to change, but they're external to us, and maybe we can't really make that change easily, right? A lot of times we need to recognize that we can't change things that are external to us, right? You can't go change somebody else. You can't sometimes change things that are external to you, but you can change how you react to them, and the things that you do. And the way that you do that is by taking personal responsibility, right? Or accountability for what's in front of you, and then your actions and your reactions. So I want to give you a couple of stories. First, I'll talk to you about what's going on with me, and then I'll give you two other quick stories about people that I know, and hopefully it'll give you a decent foundation to understand what I'm talking about. So with me lately, I've realized, we've been kind of locked into our homes. I'm from the U.S. I'm from California, from the South Bay, and so so like many people, right, kind of stuck to your confines. You're in your house, and I'm typically a pretty active guy. I play a lot of sports and things like that because I like to run around and get all sorts of activities in. I climb a lot, as you've seen if you've watched any of my other videos. I play pickleball. I play soccer. I do a little bit of lifting here and there. There's all sorts of stuff. I'd like to hike, although I don't get out and hike as much as I should. But I've noticed lately that I've been getting soft, right? And I don't think there's any other way to put it, right? I'm just not fit like I should be. I'm soft. That's all there is to it. There's no other way to put it, right? I'm not fit. I haven't been handling my business well, and so I've gained a little bit of weight, which I'm sure a lot of people have, and it's easy to put the blame elsewhere, right, and to not take personal responsibility for it. Well, I do get up every morning and I walk, right, and so I've been doing that. It helps me clear my mind and helps set me up for a really good day. But I decided that why would I walk when I can go run, right? Why would I go, and walk if I can just get out there and run and really, really push, right, and push hard. So I can tell you personally, I don't like running, right? I play soccer here and there, although soccer's all shut down, but I do play soccer, and that's obviously a lot of running. But at the same time, just going out, like putting on your shoes and going for a run, I don't like it. I've never really been a big fan of it. But I decided last week that I was going to go for it, right? I was just, screw it. I'm going to get up. I'm going to go for it. So I'm talking to you now. It's about 7 a.m. Still decently early, and I've been up, I can tell you already, since 4:15. I already went out for just over a 3-mile run, and I'm back here recording this. I've already taken a shower and I've gotten all ready. I've already had some breakfast. So I'm really trying to push, right? I'm trying to push to do better with myself, and to get my health better, and to get onto a better level of fitness, and to be obviously more fit. So the last couple weeks I've kind of been putting it off and not really doing much, right? I get out and I walk, like I said, and I kind of go halfway here and there. But I realize, like, I'm not taking responsibility for how I look, right? I'm not stoked with being, overweight and being a little pudgy, and although I'm compared to some, I'm not really overweight. You look at me and say, oh, no. But it's about what you're looking at inside, right? And about who you want to be for yourself, okay? And so you don't judge yourself against other people. You judge yourself off yourself, right? You want to be better than you were the day before. Not on anybody else's standards, but on your own standards, okay? And I sat there and I looked at it and I said, okay, just call it what it is and make the change, right? Take some responsibility for how you look and then go fix it. Because until you take that personal responsibility, you can't really sit down and say, okay, this is what's going on. This is what I have in front of me. That's true. And once you can determine that it's true, then you can decide on a course of action, right? If you keep telling yourself, oh, no, it's not that bad, then you're never going to react to it. You'll never do anything with it. You'll just sit there, right? Oh, my finances are not that good. I'll stay in the crappy job that I have. I'll work halfway. I won't try to get any more schooling. I won't try to get any more education. I won't try to promote because it's just what it is, right? I did it for years in my relationship before. Like, oh, this is just what it is. Like, it's okay. You know what I mean? It's okay. It is what it is. You know, like almost like you leave it to fate. You know, and you realize, hopefully at some point in time, that the only place you can really look is inside, right? You can't change people. You can't change things that are external to you a lot of times. You can only look inside and take that personal responsibility and then do something with it, right? And do something about it. So that's a little bit about me, right? Like I said, I've already gotten up today. It's 7 a.m. now. I'm now in the middle of my recording. I've already been running. I've already had breakfast, and I'm going to ask you, what are you doing, right? Are you still in bed? And that's okay if you're still in bed, but then I'm going to ask you, how much have you gotten done today, right? It is my day off. I'm telling you that right now. It's my day off from my regular job. So on my day off, I'm still working, right? Because it's about what I want to do for myself. It's about personal responsibility and trying to do more for myself. So here's another quick story kind of related to that. So I was talking to a friend of mine the other day about work, right? And he comes to me and he's telling me about this guy that he knows, and he goes, oh man, I meet him, and the first thing is, oh man, my buddy, man, it's so ridiculous. He works for this company and they won't let him come back. And I'm already running through this in my mind, right? Like, this company won't let an employee come back to work. Like, the company's open and all that. Like, so I'm waiting for this silly story, man. Like, which I knew was coming. Like, I can just tell you. So he goes, yeah, my buddy can't come back. He's just gonna sue this company he's working for. And I'm like, okay, like, what's up? And he goes, oh, well, his boss is making him bring a doctor's note. Yeah, that company that he works for, it's policy, right? It's policy that he brings a doctor's note back in when he comes back to work, right? He's been out injured, right? Am I correct in saying that? Oh yeah, he's been out injured. So he's got to get a duty cert. You know, he's got to be certified for duty to be able to come back to work. Like, that's the company's policy. To make sure that the employee's personal injuries aren't going to be a problem for him, you know, so that he's safe to come back to work, because they don't want the employee hurt again. Well, it's ridiculous, and he can't get a note. And I go, how can he not get a note, man? Like, it makes no sense. I said, let me stop you for a second. First of all, nobody's going to the doctor right now. It's all done, you know, via telephone and video conference right now for the most part. So how can he not get a note? Like, it doesn't make any sense. If you can't go to work, how can he not get a note? Is he totally fine? Yeah, he's totally fine, but they just won't give him a note. And I said, let me ask another question. Is this your friend that always has problems? Yeah, it's my friend that always has problems. I said, oh, okay, there it is. I said, at what point in time does your friend actually take some personal responsibility for all of the trouble he has in his life? You've told me all these stories. He's got problems here. He's got problems there. He's got problems with you know, this boss, and problems with that boss, and problems at home, and problems here. And how? Why is it? Why is it that this guy has all these problems? I said, dude, at some point in time, he's got to stop looking at everything outside of him and say, why is everything in my life a problem? Why is it a problem? Right? Who created the problem? At some point in time, you got to take a look at yourself and say, okay, I'm going to have to take some personal responsibility for the things that are happening in my life, and I'm going to have to change how to do it. I said, you need to do two things, man. You need to go back to your friend, and you need to tell your friend to take some responsibility for the things in his life. Stop making excuses. You know that that's the company policy. Just go do it. But of course he can't do it because I'm sure he goes to his doctor and talks some garbage to the doctor. So the doctor, when he calls, is probably like, shit, not this guy. You know what I mean? Oh, great. Like, here it is, Because when you're always abrasive and fighting the system and all that, it becomes a problem for you. And I'm not saying there's not times when you shouldn't fight the system, but it becomes a problem, right? It becomes a problem for you. And then nobody wants to help you, okay? So you need to tell your friend just to get it done. Just take some personal responsibility, stop making excuses, and go get it done. Get done what he needs to get done and be done. He could have easily just handled his business, and then it wouldn't have even been a question. It wouldn't even been a question. The policy is the policy. It wouldn't have been a question. You would have been done, and that's it. Done. Over. No question asked. Like, it wouldn't have even been an issue. But that's not the case, right? That's not the case for this guy. And I said, 2, you need to get away from him. Okay? Like, don't get me wrong. You need to get away from him because that mentality is gonna rub off, man. It's gonna rub off. Like, there's a saying that I heard a long time ago, right? If it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck and it looks like a duck, it's a duck, right? And you don't want to be around people that are not handling their business, that are not moving forward in life. Because if they're not moving forward in life, then you don't have any drive, with your peers because they don't have any drive, right? It's kind of like the age-old, like, drug dealers hang out with drug dealers and rich people with rich people and poor people with poor people. It's a hard pill to swallow, but if you want to be something, right, then I suggest you go find like-minded people, right? You need to find people that are already doing that and thinking like that because they're going to help you achieve that success that you want or to get to where you want to go. You can't look outside, right? You cannot look outside of you and expect to have some miracle change, right? Because it's not going to happen. You need to recognize that you can't change people. You can't change other people, right? Only people can change themselves. So you need to take that personal responsibility. So this leads me to the next story about somebody really close to me. They've been having a lot of problems in their life for a couple of years, right? And there's a lot of external factors for that. And that's okay, right? Understand, we've all had some bad stuff happen to us, man. Some have had a lot worse. Some have had not as bad, right? Some of us have had a decent, like, pretty mellow life. But in their own world, in everybody's own world, they've had some really bad stuff they've had to deal with and come to grips with, right? And only when you stop and look at it and you really take it personal responsibility and say, okay, this happened, but this is not who I am. Only then can you really truly sit there and decide to make the change, right? You can't change what happened and you can't change what's external to you. You can only change how you react and what you do. You can't change the external, right? Forcing people to change is almost impossible, okay? However, when people choose to change, it's no problem, right? It can be a difficult process, but if somebody really, really wants something, they can go achieve it. They can go get it, right? It's possible, but only when they choose to change can people really change, right? So this other person I'm dealing with, they've had some bad stuff, like I said, and they continue to do things here and there that really, really don't serve any higher purpose, right? They're really, really destructive to themselves. And so I was talking with them, and they're going through doing these things repeatedly, and I said, let me ask you a question. I said, so here you are, this stuff's not right to do, right? You know that you shouldn't be doing it. And so you in your mind, this is not going to serve me any purpose. And yeah, it's not helping me. Okay. So it's not helping you. Then why are you doing it? Right? Why are you doing it? Because let me get this right. Let me see if I got it right. So it's not right. you're looking for this feeling of acceptance external to you. You go and you start doing this stuff, and then next thing you know, you end up feeling bad about it, and then that only fuels that negativity, which then in turn makes you want to do it more to go back into that and make bad decisions. And it's kind of like this revolving door, right? It goes round and round and round, and you find yourself stuck in it all the time. And you're looking for the external to change it, right? You're looking outside. Well, maybe if I do this, this will change it. Maybe if I do that, it'll change it. The problem's over there. The problem's over there. And they get mad when things get brought up, but the reality of it is that they keep doing things that are destructive to themselves. Okay, and in reality, the only time it's going to change is when they take that personal responsibility. When they come out and they say, "Listen," and not to anybody else, to yourself, right? They need to come out to themselves and say, "Listen, this is what it is. This is who I am. This is where I stand. That's okay. Now, what do I want to do that's going to take me onto a different path? What am I willing to do to change that, right? Inside, okay? Because you can't change what already happened, and you can't change what's external to you, right? You can't change somebody or something else. You can only change your perception of it, or the way that you approach it, or what you do about it, right? So you don't like the place you live, you need to go make more money. You need to change yourself, learn more, gain more knowledge, and then go make more money and change where you live, right? It's internal. You got to look at yourself, right? And looking at yourself sucks, man. It sucks sometimes, but it can be done, right? It can be done. And when you do that, it really, really makes a big difference. So it's just like the first story I told you. I started off with myself. I'm fat. I'm not happy with how I look. Okay? Not okay. Right? I was honest with myself about it. And then I went and I changed it, right? I went out and I said, okay, this is what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to change what I do and how I do things, right? For myself. Not for anybody else, but for myself. And you can do the same thing too, right? Take the time and think about it for a little bit. Think about the things where you really push the blame outside. It's not in your control, right? Something, whatever it is, whether it's your job or your family or your spouse, your money, whatever it is, you go, oh, it's not in my control. Think about the people you know, because we all know people that do that, right? Oh, it's over there, right? Oh, the economy's so bad, there's nothing I can do about it. If that's what you think and that's what you believe, that's what you'll do. Nothing. You'll do nothing because, oh, it's external, it's over there, the problem's over there. But if you take that personal responsibility for it, then you can decide and say, okay, the economy's bad right now. That's okay. Now, who cares what the economy's doing? What am I gonna do, right? What am I going to change to make it better for myself, right? Instead of wallowing in that, you take that personal responsibility and you do something about the situation, right? You do something about it. You change yourself to change the situation. So hopefully it makes a little bit of sense. And hopefully this has been helpful. I really, really think you should think about it, right? And realize that if you take personal responsibility for the things in your life, you can change them. And if you want to have a better life, you need to change, right? You need to change. You need to change who you are, and you need to change the things that you do. You need to become somebody else, right? And it's difficult, but it can be done. So thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.